Ready for chapter 2. Do you see what I see again? That's right. I see another picture. Let's take a closer look. Oh, do you see that note? The note that's on the lamp. It says, "Dear Fairy, the tooth is in the box. Love, Brad." Brad! He was on her list. She was excited to see him. Oh, I wonder what that box is. Hmm. Oh my gosh, I just noticed the title of this chapter is called Fairy Trap. Bet that box is a trap. I wonder what's going to happen. Can't wait. Fairy Trap. Bluma flew to Bradley's room first, eager to put the task behind her. Once again, she huddled against the window pane. She took a deep breath and looked around the room. In the corner, a canary slept in a cage with its head beneath its wing. An iguana snoozed in a tank on the dresser. Goldfish circled in a bowl on a shelf cluttered with plastic dinosaurs. I bet he'd like to add me to his collection, thought Bluma. The last time she was here, Bradley had lined glass marbles along the windowsill. They glistened like colored stars in the bright moonlight. What beautiful stones, Bluma had thought. The blue one shimmered like a rushing stream. Bluma touched it, causing it to roll into the others. One by one, the marbles dropped to the wooden floor. Clack, clack, clack! Before she knew it, Bradley awoke and nearly managed to snatch her with a swoop of his butterfly net. He won't trick me tonight, Bluma said to herself. I'll use my dust, my wings, my head. Bradley twitched in his sleep. A bit of drool pooled on the side of his lips. Bluma tossed a double dose of fairy dust over his bed, holding her nose so she wouldn't sneeze. She inspected the room and discovered a note taped to the lamp. Dear Fairy, the tooth is in the box. Love, Brad. A shoebox sat beneath the bedside lamp with its lid propped open with a stick. Bluma perched on the rim of the box and peered inside. In the dim light, she could see Bradley's tooth tied to a string at the bottom of the stick. Another fairy trap! Good luck figuring that one out, squeaked a voice. Across the room, a hamster watched Bluma through the bars of his cage. You're going to end up in here like me, he said, spinning your wheels but getting nowhere. He jumped on the exercise wheel and began to run. Bluma tugged nervously at her dress. A daisy petal fell loose. He's a tricky boy, but it's my job to get his tooth and leave a coin. Any ideas? The rodent hopped off the wheel and chewed on a wooden toy. Maybe you can pry open his mouth and yank out a different tooth. He flashed his long teeth. Bits of sawdust stuck to his furry chin. Bluma shook her head. I'm sure the elder fairies have rules against that. She examined the trap. Perhaps I can untie the knot around the tooth. As she flew down into the cardboard box, the flutter of her wings caused the stick to quiver. The lid of the box shook above her. She quickly returned to the top. Her heart pounded wildly in her chest. Can't say I didn't warn you, said the hamster. He spit out a splinter. Last week, the kid tried to trap a lizard. Bluma's eyes grew wide. What happened? It got away, but the poor green fellow had to leave its tail behind. Bluma shuddered and pulled again at her dress. Another petal dropped off. This will take a little thought, she said, wiping the sweat from her brow. I'll come back later. She flew from the house, leaving Bradley's tooth behind. Oh my goodness, this is not what I thought was going to happen in this story. If you remember when I was reading earlier, I thought that Bluma was excited to see Bradley. I don't think that anymore. My opinion and my predictions are changing because now I know more about the characters and a little bit more about what has happened in the story. I wonder if your predictions are changing too. As you read, lots of times what you wonder and think about might change. That's good. That means you're learning from the story. Take some time to think about what you think is happening with the characters in the story and what you think's going to happen going forward. This was the end of chapter 2. Can't wait to see you in chapter 3.